All right, cool. It's the Jewellery Conversation. We're here in Dubai right now. Who am I here with today?
We're here with Suavo, owner of Suavo World.
Bro, you've been going crazy lately.
Been trying, man.
We see a lot. There's a lot to unpack. Obviously, I know it's all out on the internet, but give me a brief history and backstory of the brand.
Cool. So 2019, I started with denim jeans. I just done some customs for friends and like people on my personal Instagram. I had about 2K followers on my main account. And I was just like, yo, people just tap in. I'm making customs now. It's my new little thing I'm doing. Tap in. Had a brand before with my boys as well. Alpha DBM was selling tracksuits, tees. So I learned a lot of the game doing that for 2-3 years. Then I was like, my passion is just too strong. I got to just create my own thing as well. Then I was like, let's start with the customs. And one of my boys was like, bro, if you can sell customs, just do the bulk order, like make your own jeans and sell it. So it kind of was like my friend nudging me, like, you might as well do it, rather than coming from a place of, I want to do a brand. It was kind of like natural. It just fell to my feet, and then I just tried it. Started slow and then just kept pushing. Yeah. And now we're here.
What sparked the sort of transition from the custom jeans you was making back then to what you're doing now? Because there's a lot of brands back then who were doing the custom jeans, you didn't survive and they didn't evolve.
It's true. There was loads of drip brands that were like doing paint and that on the jeans as well as me, but I clocked longevity. Eventually people will be like, customs is a long process. I've got to ship it to you, you got to edit it, ship it back. It's like the process is too long. People want to go online, see it, like it, buy it. So the risk was quite minimal because I thought Amazon, they ship next day delivery, so let me just buy bulk and ship everyone's stuff same time. And that was my plan to like allow customers in.
Where did the name of the brand come from?
Cool. So my nickname in school, because Migos were popping, was from Quavo. So I just said, put Suavo on that. From Sheldon, my name, Sheldon. And that was just my nickname already. Then when the brand came about, I was like, I might as well take a nickname rather than my government name or something, and just say Suavo, and it means something to me. And then if it means something to me, I'll have more passion about the brand because it's meaningful.
And in terms of obviously, I've seen that you've done your sort of own jewelry collection with the chains. What sparked that idea? How did that come about?
I feel like I'm very influenced by like US fashion, and like it's always about jewelry, chains, and gold is quite like a thing in like African culture. Gold is just like from birth you're in a gold bangle. All your cousins are rings and stuff like that, earrings. I had earrings from young as well. So I think I've always seen jewelry, and it's always been such a thing that's quite praised in my culture and community. So I was like, this means something as well. Everything has to be meaningful, otherwise I'm not passionate about it. So I just thought, cool, it'd be nice to make your own chain. Then found some cool plugs in America. They can make kind of anything. So I just said, let me give this a go. Then people caught onto it.
Would you say that you're gonna sort of dive into that a bit more?
I think so, because now I can make some new designs and go harder with it. You've even now motivated me to like not just do a one and done. I can now take the Hidden Hills, slap that on some jewelry, just have a bit more fun. Maybe put gemstones like red stones and stuff. Get some like rubies and emeralds. So I can keep it going, just one design at a time. To see how people react.
And in terms of your personal jewelry style, like, explain it to me.
At the moment, it's just a G-Shock. I went from Jewelry Unlimited there in like Atlanta. I see them online, and they had some cool bust-down G-Shocks. But obviously, I saw Central C have it first, and I was like, I want a bit of that. It's just something that when you're a kid, you wore G-Shocks, but now you get it. Bust down, innit?
And I've seen you had, I don't know if you got them with you, you had the grills.
I got the grills, but they're a bit uncomfortable to wear, That's why I don't wear them anymore. They're too much. The grills are like, the mold needs to be remolded, I think. But so I don't wear the grills too much, and I feel like I've outgrown it already.
Fair enough.
This is a full mouth of
it's a full set.
It's too much. But
what do you like, the flashy jewelry stuff, or do you like to keep it simple?
I like to keep it simple. This was just because it was a trend. And I'm someone that likes to sometimes hop on trends.
Fair enough.
This is a bit of fun, it's a bit different, but G-Shocks are meaningful. When I was a kid, I had them, so I'm like, if I can now get a bust down one, I might as well. And Jewelry Unlimited prices are calm, so I just went for it. But now it's got to be more Rolexes and stuff. But I don't want to force myself to get too many watches because, bro, if you focus on watches and you're a brand owner, you should be focusing on your brand.
Your brand.
So why am I going to get misconstrued? So if you do see me with bare watches and a mad watch collection, just know I'm absolutely...
That you're clear.
Bro. I don't want to start too early. So I'm not putting pressure on myself to go mad with watches. But obviously I see what people are doing, what watches are about, and I got my taste for it. So now I'm just gonna run it up and then eventually start getting pieces. But I'm not rushing it. I know who I am. I don't need to prove it to others. Because the same people with watches, they might not have that much liquid. They might put too much money in their watch.
Do you know, I like that you say that.
Balance.
Because a lot of people do get drawn out into buying watches.
Sometimes I feel like I need to have like bare Rolexes to all this, but then I'm like, I got this drop, I got an invoice, I got to pay fucking 10K and that. So I'd just rather keep doing that and then eventually have some nice watches when the time is right.
What would you say is cash flow a big struggle in your business?
Cash flow is like, even when you make 20k, bro, you'll be like, shit, half of it's going.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I hate because you still make good money in a month, but then you still got to pay that bill. And because obviously I come from struggle, I'm like, I don't want to pay that bill, man. I just want to keep the profit.
Yeah.
I just want to keep the whole 20 and then not have to invest back in to make the 20. You just want to take the money and run. And that's why I'm still learning to like actually pay what you got to pay and just firm the cost, because with the cost comes with money anyway. Anytime you invest in yourself, you make some.
What would you say is the biggest struggle you faced in, how long have your brand been around? 5, 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years September.
Yeah.
Do you know what is the struggles, the hardest ones were at the start. It was getting people to like it, and because I didn't stop, now people care. So now that's the hardest part of the way. Now it's just about scaling it and like maybe going from my own warehouse to getting a big warehouse. That's my next goal, to get a fulfillment center. Yeah, like the Amazon one. That's my next one.
I've seen you post a couple moments where it seems like you're like, raw, I really accomplished it. Or which is a moment that happened to you, you was like, give yourself a pat on the back, like you were really proud of yourself.
I think when the Grey Hidden Hills tracksuit dropped, for the amount of units I ordered and how quickly it sold, I was like, we're still in this game. Because all the previous years, things were selling, but the speed of how that sold proved to me that I should do what I'm doing right now. If I can sell so many grey tracksuits so fast, I might as well carry on. Because sometimes you need that reminder that there's demand. If there's no demand, why am I dropping that? I might as well not do this. But that was a good wake-up call that if you keep knocking and throwing some more shots out, you're going to get so many more products that are going to be so high in demand, and now you're going to have like 8 products that everyone wants, and then now you're just going to keep re-upping them and bringing new to the market. That's how you can grow. And the customers are going to love the things you're restocking and what you bring new. So I might as well just keep going. That's kind of how I am right now.
And in terms of designs, obviously the Hidden Hills are probably what you're leading with right now.
Yeah.
But how do you come about your designs? Where do you get your inspiration from?
We had I don't want to say too much, we had a new design this week. We'll just take one thing from this. Yeah. One little thing, whether it's a symbol, whether it's a word, whether it's a number, and we'll take that one thing and we'll put on a new fabric and a new product. And then now we look at it, we're like, yeah. So it's not, I'm not looking from far places. I'm looking at what's working, taking symbolic things from the best designs and putting on to the next one. And that game is free game that I'm doing, so you might as well give it a go. Like, it works for me. And then I'm just kind of running my whole ecosystem with my own designs rather than trying to steal from bare brands. But still smartly. If you're a great artist, you have to steal, but you have to be smart about you steal. But I think now, I don't need to look at what Hellstar are doing or what next man are doing. I need to be like, this is what I'm doing, this is what's selling for me, what should I do with that information? So I think sometimes when you copy with no meaning, the audience will be like, you just copy so-and-so. You have to do it very well and bring meaning. Meaning will always have more emotional attachment to people than just doing some random shit and hoping it makes money.
And what would you say is your biggest like inspiration in terms of creating products, or who is your biggest influence?
It's definitely Virgil Abloh. I know everyone says it, but when he said about the 3% rule, I just kept it in my pocket from the day I heard it ever to now. So probably for the last 5 years, it's always like, look at what works and change something, whether the way you take the photo shoot, the color you use, just do what's working and add something better. Then everyone will think yours is the best thing when you just took the inspo from someone else and rolled it over. But you have to do it in a way that it still has meaning to you. So I'll pick color schemes that I know my customers might like, or I know that is relevant to the brand and the vibe and the aura of the brand, rather than just over copying. Then you just copy someone's homework, you get caught.
No,
same way. So that's kind of what I've been doing to allow myself to be like, cool, the jersey worked in a long sleeve, let's make the same colour in a short sleeve, we'll test it. If it doesn't bang, we'll scrap that idea. Maybe that colour scheme only works now on the polo shirts. It just depends. We have to throw the drop out, see the reaction, and then sit back and analyse. Sometimes I'm like, didn't bang, but we'll still break even onto the next. And we just keep testing. You're always going to test until you know what's your hit.
And outside of like a person, what else inspires you?
I think at the moment, traveling inspires me because you meet new people, you see new things, and it opens my mind a bit because I'm in a new environment, so I'm motivated, I'm seeing nicer things, I'm getting inspired by even how, like, let's say a shop for like a shop for something that's nothing to do with fashion might look really clean and aesthetic, and the colour schemes, then I'll be like, oh, I like how this matcha shop looks, so how can I take that into like my next pop-up, or how can I take that into my next content? Just like little random things will spark an idea. If a space looks clean and empty, you can now take that into your own thing and then take little things. So I kind of think anything, when you leave your area, you see a lot of new shit, can take it, flip it, and then bring it into your own world as well.
Yes.
That keeps you moving.
Speaking of inspiration in terms of the stores, obviously your business is mainly online, but do you think there's any room for a brick and mortar for your business? Do you think it's even necessary for business?
At the moment, I've partnered with a store in Glasgow called One Lux. They're flying my stuff out on consignment, so I'll make my drops, send them parts of my inventory, like let's say 20%, send it over, and then within a week it'll be like everything's sold. So we're kind of running that up and then scaling that to bigger wholesale orders. Then, because they're taking over the cost of the store, it's just letting the brand slowly seep into the market, because I like how people think the brand is like underground and small, because it makes them want to support it more. Then as now that gets bigger, I can now actually decide like what's our play. But I feel like digital is just too clean and it's too good because it's seamless. The pricing is as cheap as it could be. Sometimes if you go to physical, it might ruin your whole company. It's Trapstar, there's a reason they ain't got a store anymore. Not that I know everything, but I'm sure like I can learn from that data. Why have they not got a store? Like there's a reason for this. So as much as everyone will say your shop is a status of success, that will come at a cost of your business. I don't need people to rate what I'm doing, as long as on the back end we're doing well.
Yeah.
Let's keep that. I think pop-ups with a nice, cool, unique shop that looks like fully custom spec'd. That's better because there's excitement, it's a day, it's a moment, and then you can kind of scale that and do a tour, UK tour, EU tour, USA tour. I think I'd rather accomplish those things first, because it's no risk, no reward. It's just like, we'll give it a try, do a weekend in different cities, connect with people globally, and keep the brand being what it should be, which is a unique thing, rather than just like all these other shops we see up and down. That's another reason why my early access code, when you send it on email, people be buying. I think there's something about something being exclusive that makes us warm to it more than it just being on the shop.
Yeah. And what would you say? What would you say is the thing that you love most about owning your brand, and the thing that you hate most about owning your brand?
I think I love not being told what to do. I just listen to, let's say my customer tells me something's gone wrong. I respect and listen to them, but then to create what I had to create, I kind of was able to just take what was inside and put it on paper and just do what I want to do, and then learn from other things as it comes. So it humbles you, as the customer might say, oh, this don't fit right, blah, blah, blah. Cool, but then no one told me what to do. I was just able to make what I like, and then we handle the customer service accordingly. So I love being able to do what I want, when I want, and even like, let's say I leave Dubai, I go back to UK, life's still good because I wake up and I do what I want to do every day. If it's content, I'll do it. If it's networking, I'll do it. If I want to randomly go to Glasgow and go see how the stores do, I can just kind of do anything that's business related. As long as it's moving the brand forward, I can do what I want, and that's what I think I like about it. It's that freedom. Although it comes with stress, it's worth it because at least I'm living on my terms.
And what's the thing that you don't like about it?
I don't like that you're constantly scared and checking like, am I going to fall off or something?
Yeah.
That's what I hate.
Constant paranoia, anxiety.
That's what I hate about it.
And how do you sort of like counteract? What makes? How do you?
You know what helps a lot? Yeah, planning in advance. So like, I'm already planning the next drops now. Although my current drop now is killing it, to be ahead of the game, I already know what's coming in September. I already know that because I'm working ahead of time. My graphic designer's made new products this week whilst I'm on holiday that I'm seeing. And I'm like, that's it, we can drop that next month. Just because we're working so ahead, instead of waiting until September to launch it, we're going to take some items from September drop and make it earlier. So I think working ahead of time has made my life smoother because I've always got the next thing to work on and I've always got something to drop. So I can never fall off if I'm always ahead of time. If I'm always 6 months ahead, or more or less, I always just keep it rolling, and then it'll end up being 20 years and you just always keep it ticking, and you're always on trend, and you've got your own aesthetic. It means you'll never fail, although you're in the back of your head, you'll be scared. I feel like that's what's really helping, and gym as well clears your mind. Yeah. So those two things, working at a time, going gym, it's the best I can do right now.
I always have this discussion about style with people. It's two questions. First of all, what do you think is the best era of style? So 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Now, obviously they could be split into different parts.
Do you know what is? Would you say 90s and 2000? What's the difference between 90s and 2000s?
I would say 90s is more like oversized dressing, and then I feel like 2000s got a bit weird, and people started wearing like, you know, when you see Jay-Z wearing like weird shirts and that kind of thing.
I think let's call it 90s then. 90s is golden because you got the baggy denim, cargos, camo. I think everything was in then. Yeah. Everything that's now, people wearing raw baggy denim and jacket, that's all from the 90s taken into now. So I think that's the era we live off because we can just look back at what it used to be and take from it and then drop it now and it works. Yeah. So I think that is the best era.
And what city in the world would you say has the best style?
Do you know what I used to say in New York? Because they're confident, they wear different types of things. But I think London make wearing it more in a more like relaxed manner. Because as people, you dress how you are as a person as well. Americans are more confident and more loud. And even if I meet a 7-year-old in the lift from America, the way they're chatting to you, they're so warm and so bubbly, so it transcends into their fashion. Whereas UK is more cold. So I feel like that in the fashion sense means that UK got that nice blend. Whereas still, we take the baggy pant, but we wear it with a nice Air Force, and we balance it, hybrid it. So I think hybriding is better than just being all the way head to toe crazy. I want it to still look calm and collected. So I think London have got a good balance of taking from the whole world's fashion and making it our own. So that's what I think. I think that's a fair answer.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And in terms of the content game, I don't know how long you've been taking content seriously, but you're killing it right now.
Love, bro.
What like sparked you what sparked the decision to just be like, I'm going hard?
Big sis told me you can't just be cool and hide your face and not be online. Personal brand is important, you need to do it. Listen to her, and now I'm like, if it weren't for you, I might have fallen off. But because I didn't, it really got me out there to people, and now I'm just like increasing and growing. So yeah, it was just her really. I listened. When someone older than you talks, you have to listen. If you don't listen, you'll just learn the hard way. If you don't listen, do something better. And I didn't have a better idea.
Fair enough.
So I just listened. And yeah, that helped. That started around 2022. Around them times. The Cortez 95s dropped. Done a voiceover on the black and pink ones. That went viral. And I was like, cool. That was my method.
In terms of owning a brand, what would you say is the 3 most important character traits that you need to succeed?
Is consistency a character trait though?
Yeah,
it's a word, but
persistence kind of thing.
Persistence, yeah, you need that, because if you don't, the only reason you'll make it work out is because you never stop. That's what I've learned. Keep doing it again and again and again, and keep trying, failing, learning. That's what makes success. So the word success only comes from learning from losses, and then now changing that over, and then you're now flying high because you're just consistently doing the right things, and you're knowing in your gut what is right, because you've done it 100 times, and you're like, okay, I know it's better to drop on a Sunday than it is on a Friday. It was on a Friday, people going out. So it's those little decisions. That's what makes you do better and have more sales and stuff like that. So that persistence is definitely one. I think that's the main one. Relentless, being relentless. Again, these are not like personality traits, but I'm just thinking realistically, what is it? Being relentless, because now you're blocking out everyone else's opinion, doing your own vision, chasing that, and the more you're confident and believe in it, others will catch on. So I think being relentless is good, because it means like consistently you're putting out what you believe in. Eventually people will say, you know, I've seen this better times, let me go check it out. But if you kind of quit early, no one's going to eventually click your website link. Like a lot of men now on this trip are like, oh, I've heard of your brand before, you know. Even a random guy that I'm saying, yo, what'd you do? Then I say the name. I'm thinking in my head, my brand's not that big. But everyone I mention it to, they're like, I've heard it one time. So it doesn't mean they bought or they care about it. But they're like, yeah, like I've seen maybe your ad, or I've seen some next guy wearing it. So then I'm like, now starting to realize more people even know about it than I thought. That's because the consistency and the relentlessness behind it now means that 9 times out of 10 someone's going to know about it. So I think that's something I've now come to terms with. As I used to think, it's a small brand, but now I'm like, it's not really a small brand, because everyone I seem to ask seems to know. So I'm transitioning from going to not being as known to like, oh right, people actually know. So it's like, you got to keep going, and then it can become the mad thing as well.
Fair enough. In terms of like your upbringing, how would you say that shaped you into the man you are today and everything that you've accomplished?
Okay, so parents were like, if you want to do this, prove it type thing. And that's how I live to this day. I'm like, cool, I want to try a new design, but until I can see that people are warming to it well, or I can see the sales coming in, then I'll believe it. So even myself, although I believe in something, I think it needs to come to the truth. Truth has to come to the light. You got to see that, well, I've created this thing. It's a business. Is it selling? And that's something that I've now taken from my parents, that also don't forget that this is a business, although it's your passion. They know I'll do it for free because I don't care, I just love it. But they're like, make sure you're doing what you need to do for your own self too. Otherwise, it's not a business. So now I'm balancing that, and I think that's helping me analyze data and see, what colorways should I do, or what style should I do? Should I do a slim? Should I do a baggy? I think those questions are all based around the consumer we're creating the product for. So that's helped a lot. Because at the end of the day, is it going to sell as well? And that helps, I think, sometimes. to always remember that, but still make it in a creative, fun way that you love, and God will do the rest. So that's kind of how my life has been, from parents being a bit not strict. They're just like, if you want to do this, make sure it's working. And that's a good reminder.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's been it.
There was a lot of gems in that conversation.
Cool, bro.
Where can people find you? When can we look forward to seeing the next drop? All that kind of stuff.
This week I decided I want to do a drop in June and July. Other big projects coming I can't speak on, but we're going to come back and chat about it afterwards. And yeah, there's a lot coming. Every month I got cool things coming, drops and community-based things. So yeah, the next 2-3 months, we'll come back again and we'll chop it up and we'll go over all of that.
And what's the social media? What's the Instagram?
Cool. So Suavo on TikTok and Insta, and then Suavo World on TikTok and Insta for the brand page, and obviously the website suavoworld.com. That's me.
There's a YouTube as well.
Bro, I've been slacking on my YouTube, you know. I've been trying to cool off on it. It's so hard to be consistent. But yeah, that's Suavo 2 A's on YouTube as well. Got some lifestyle vlogs, some brand behind the scenes stuff. And I have to drop a new video in the next few weeks because I've been slacking. But yeah, I've been all right, man. That's me. That's all my social.
Appreciate it.
Love, bro. Appreciate it. Been a good one. Love, bro.